the Bears have they've suddenly morphed into people that I think are smart now because they've addressed the trenches for the first time in a long time. They signed Drew Dahlman yesterday to play center. They take him from Atlanta. On the defensive side of the ball, they get Grady Jarrett, who was a stopper also in Atlanta for a long, long time. And I'm going to try and say this name.
You don't have
Dayo
to.
Odeyingbo. How did I do?
Look, I'm just going to say Dio.
Dayo. Okay.
I'll just establish that right now. I'm good with that. I think that's what we'll find out about a nickname or something like that. Yeah, from the Colts, they have 5 new lineman starters, 3 on offensive line, 2 on the defensive line.
Good.
And it's not us forcing a Bears conversation. Everywhere you look around, if you pull up winners, losers, NFL free agency, one of the first names mentioned is the Chicago Bears. And I know we've been here before. We were probably here a year ago. Bears winning the offseason. We've been here before. This feels different. And I think most fan bases feel that way when they have change. Oh, this feels so different. But I believe that's the case in this situation. A year ago, or last couple of years, what Ryan Poles, the general manager, was doing was, going for these high-profile moves. Let's get receivers. No. Not going into the trenches, which is where you begin everything. That is how the Lions built their team. And the Bears head coach obviously came from the Lions. Ben Johnson learned a few things. It feels like he's walked into Hallis Hall and said, Ryan Poles, this is what you have to do, man. Lineman. The offensive line stinks. We have no depth, and the starters aren't all that good, and there is 0 depth on the defensive line. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you see how the Eagles won? And I think a lot of teams are taking a close look at that. Like, okay, now I see how you have to beat the Chiefs, which we can get to. But, yeah, it feels different. The last time I felt this way about roster construction in Chicago was when Theo Epstein came to town. It started doing things the right way. Like figuring, let's not take any shortcuts. This is, and a lot of these players, let's not get it twisted. This is for short term. This is for the next couple of years. They have 3 picks in the top 41. They are now not forced at number 10 to take an offensive lineman. They can take the best player on the board. I think that's the beauty in this from the Bears' perspective, that they don't have to be like, oh no, we must take 2 of 3 offensive linemen with our first round pick in our early 2s. They don't have to do that. They can truly do whatever is best for the team.
I think they need to take the best defensive player on the board. Ideally, it's a player from Georgia or Alabama, and I think they nailed this offseason. I did get a text this morning from what appears to be a jealous Vikings fan asking me, is it good to pay 3 of your interior linemen $50 million combined? And I did laugh because that is kind of funny. I guess that's the damage. I mean, that's a lot of money for 3 offensive linemen. Tooney, Dahlman, and Jackson, $56 million. It's a lot. But I'd rather have them than have the line they had last year. And speaking of lines, you can now find the Bears. What? Yeah. Go ahead. You got it? No, you got it.
I was just going to add, like, this is the beauty of a rookie quarterback, right? That rookie contract. You can do stuff like this. You suck at center. You suck in the interior. He was sacked the most in the NFL of any quarterback, coming right up the gut, right at you. Let's plug that hole because we can do it now. If we hit on Caleb, then we're going to have to pay everything, and we can't do something like that. But they can do something like that, like this now.
I would rather them pay offensive linemen than pay maybe any other positional group. And you already see some of these books in Vegas, across the country, coming down on the market to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying bet it. Joe is not saying to bet it. I see a 30-1 now. They were 40-1 basically everywhere, but now it's 35, 35, 33, 30. And one book has 15-1 NFC. The hype is getting insane. I'm not there yet, but other people in the market are.